Hey Dragonlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you may not know, but my name is Sky. I typically write paranormal romance under the name SD Haggis. In today's video, I wanted to do a book recommendation. Today's recommendation is going to be Magic's Pawn by Mercedes Lackey. It is the first in the Last Herald Maid trilogy, and it is my favorite book ever. If you've been on my channel a long time, you may have heard me talk about this before, but I realized I've never actually done a recommendation video about it. This is the book that I talk about when I talk about favorite books. There are people out there that are like, you mean top 5? You mean top 10? No. I have one favorite book, and that is this book. I reread this one every year, hands down. I have a paperback copy of it. I now have a Kindle copy of it. I have a Kindle copy that is the whole trilogy. I love this book. It is an epic fantasy. It deals with magic. It deals with spirits. It deals with war. It deals with family problems. Oh God, it deals with family problems. It also involves LGBT elements. This book was first published in 1989, and it was my introduction to anything LGBT related, and it was done magnificently. There is a romance in the book, but it is not explicit. Everything that happens is kind of behind closed doors. So I read this at like 12, 13 years old and was perfectly fine. I'm just saying. And I've read it every year since. So I'm going to read the Kindle's description so that you have an idea of what the book's about. And it says, though Vaniel has been born with near legendary abilities to work both herald and mage magic, he wants no part in such things. Nor does he seek a warrior's path, wishing instead to become a bard. Yet such talent as his, if left untrained, may prove a menace not only to Vaniel, but to others as well. So he is sent to be fostered with his aunt, Saville, one of the famed herald mages of Valdemar. But strong-willed and self-centered, Vaniel is a challenge which even Saville cannot master alone, for soon he will become the focus of frightening forces, lending his raw magic to a spell that unleashes terrifying weir hunters on the land. And by the time Saville seeks the assistance of the Shinian adept, Vaniel's wild talent may have already grown beyond anyone's ability to contain, placing Vaniel, Saville, and Valdemar itself in desperate peril. This book has, in my opinion, everything. Vaniel is thought to be this stuck-up, self-centered peacock because he's been spoiled by his mom, and his dad and his weapons trainer think he's the biggest damn sissy in the goddamn planet. And in a way they're right, but in another way they're very wrong. His father treats him like shit. And his father even lets the weapons master beat the crap out of him because he doesn't want to learn weapons training the way that he wants him to learn it. He's going to try a different style. This poor boy has become stuck up because everyone around him has made him that way. He has made himself feel so alone that it just breaks my motherfucking heart. Oh, like... seriously, this book is the epitome of depression and anxiety and worthlessness all wrapped up into one main character. Because that's exactly what they make him feel like. They make him feel like dog shit. And then we come to find out that part of the reason is because they were somewhat correct. They didn't want him to be a sissy boy. I hate to break it to you, but he likes guys. Very much so. Yeah. But this fantasy realm, Valdemar, all the books in the Valdemar series, those who have magic are either heralds. Heralds are thought to have their specific kinds of magic that the heralds have, versus the mages can control magic from like nature itself, like draw energy from rocks and ley lines and stuff like that. That's the kind of difference. The way I always thought about it is heralds could use mind magic, telepathy, what they call thought speech, empathy, those kind of that kind of magic. Whereas those who were considered mages could use like ley lines and draw energy from nature. And those who were herald mages could do both. Poor Vaniel, that poor son of a gun, is kicked like a puppy, sent to live with his aunt, who is stricter than strict and has no time of day for him, because when she tested him as a child, he was neither a herald nor a mage and would never amount to anything. And there's an event that happens once we discover who Vaniel really is. Like, we learn, he like opens up to people and he starts learning to trust people and fall in love and stuff like that. There's an event that happens that basically shatters him. It breaks him hard. So hard. And it is the pinnacle turning point. And it opens up Vaniel to everything. And I mean everything. Because Vaniel, bless his little heart, is the most powerful herald mage in existence. He is the chosen one, basically. But the way Mercedes Lackey writes this is so well done that you don't, even if it hits like all the main tropes that you hate, you can't help but love them. Because it's like, oh, yes, it's well done. Yes, it's beautiful. But I just, I can't sing praises enough for this book. Now, I really do want to listen to the audiobook of this, because one of the things I really enjoy about this is that it brings in other cultures. The Shinian, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, that is mentioned in the description, is kind of based on Native American tribes, from what I can tell. And I would really like to learn how they pronounce the stuff that they pronounce, because it ain't English. It ain't English that I'm used to. That being said, the term in the kingdom that Vaniel is from, being gay is not only a big no-no, there's actually not a word for it. So they take a word from the Shinian people. I think it's called, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's Sheashern, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it means one who loves oneself. And it doesn't mean oneself like I love me. It means I love another woman. I love another man. One's same gender, basically. One of the things I really love about this book is how, while the kingdom Vaniel himself is from is really, really homophobic, he learns to love himself because there are A, people that accept him no matter what, and B, there's other cultures around where that's normal. Like 90% of their culture is Sheashern. Or at least 90% of the culture that we meet is Sheashern. Let me rephrase that. So it's just really interesting how well that is done and how it's done together. And we get to see Vaniel progress as he's basically kicked down to the lowest of lows, brought back up, dropped down again, and then learns not only who he is and how powerful he is, but what he could be and his responsibilities with the power he has, because he's been kicked down so many times that even once he has this power, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He just wants it to go away. In fact, my poor little broken-hearted boy wishes for death a lot. If you couldn't tell, I really love this book. One of the other things that separates the people in this kingdom from some of the other kingdoms is that they are bonded. Heralds and herald mages and mages. No, not mages. Heralds and herald mages are bonded with what is called a companion. Not gonna lie, growing up, I wanted a companion. Hands down, I wanted a companion. These are white horses with either blue or purple eyes. They're not horses. They are spirits in the body of a horse. And when you are chosen, they can help a herald or herald mage kind of contain their power. Like they can shield them, or they can help magnify their power. The other thing is that they can speak to this person mind to mind, no matter what the herald mage's abilities actually are, whether it's thought speech or something else. The companion can speak to their chosen mind to mind, no matter what. The other thing is that they're just so sweet and loving, and like they will never turn their back on their chosen. The companions will never turn their back on their chosen, and if they do, you thoroughly fucked up, which someone does. And that's not a good thing. One of the things that breaks my heart in this book is that if you are a herald or a herald mage and your companion dies or the chosen dies, if one or the other dies, usually the other follows close behind. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, I think I've gushed about this book a lot. Can you tell I like it? Can you tell I love it? Oh, I can't get enough of it. If you haven't read it yet, you really should. If you have read it, let me know down in the comments what your favorite part was, because I really want to know. I really want to know. And if you haven't read it yet, and you do read it, come back and tell me what your favorite part was, because I want to know. I can't tell you my favorite part, because I like the whole thing. I think my favorite part is when you know, it's the scene where you discover that Vaniel knows who he is, what he's capable of, and accepts everything. In that moment, that's not gonna lie, that's what I aspire to. I'm not there yet. He hit that point, and I admire him so much for doing that. I'm not quite there. Not quite. But it's still a glorious read, and you really should read it. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. That's all I have to talk about today. If I keep going, I can gush about this. If you couldn't tell, I can gush about this book for like hours. Like I can sit here and have a full discussion about you and still find things to talk about hours later. Sorry. But let me go ahead and wrap this up now. If you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I'm probably going to try to put one out a month. We'll see how that goes. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, Dragonlings.